Hi everyone, it's Shirley Farrar, and you have entered Encouragement on Fire. And this is the month of October 2022, and it is Cancer Awareness Month. And so I was looking at some of the different data, the different research money that goes towards different things. I think it's accordingly based on the statistics. I just wanted to bring some attention to you because as my viewers, as my listeners, I want to always make sure that you have everything that you need. So we definitely want to say, we're excited about bringing awareness of all types. I'm a faith-based person and I believe in balance. So I'm going to bring to you faith and I'm going to bring to you research, because a false balance is an abomination. We need to have a just weight. And so in that, I'm coming to you today to talk about, we have Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but we also have different months of the year that are awareness of different types of cancer. So many of you may not be aware of that. And so I just want to bring that attention to you. And we're going to get to that in just a moment. However, I do want to talk to you about some information from breastcancer.org. There is some information that the reason that, October was chosen way back in like the 1980s in regards to breast cancer awareness was so that people would get early detection. They would go to their doctors and they would find out if they had it or not. So that's where our mammograms come in, and we have them yearly to make sure that we're getting ahead of the diagnosis or ahead of the curve. Maybe you may not, you don't have breast cancer, but there may be some cells that you need to be aware of or something like that. So they're trying to make sure that they get ahead of that, and they've been doing that since the early 1980s. Also, it says about 30% of early stage breast cancers eventually metastasize, spreads to parts of the body away from the breast. And the day is intended to drive awareness to the need for more research about metastatic disease. The breastcancer.org, the Breast Cancer Society, Cancer Society, they're trying to make sure that they bring early detection, and they're trying to make sure that more dollars are allocated in order for them to be able to stop some of the spread of different cancers. Now, also in the month of June, if anyone doesn't know, the month of June, that's when we had our Night of Hope and Healing, our first one this year. And we will be having them hopefully every year based on the donations. We're going to be celebrating individuals in the entire year that let us know that they overcame cancer or they're going through their process. The whole point of the program that we are having is to raise additional money to help local people in our community. So the National Foundation for Cancer Research, or the nfcr.org, and I can put this information in our YouTube information as well as the Facebook group that we have. It says, during the month of June, we celebrate the nearly 17 million Americans who have bravely and successfully battled cancer to earn the designation survivor. And I believe it's a big blue ribbon that they give out across the country to celebrate their milestones and recognize those who have supported them along the way. So I overcame mine in 2022, earlier this year. And so I'm looking next year for my big blue ribbon to either be sent to me or I can go pick it up. And I will keep that in a frame to remind me of overcoming. So, if you're out there and you have overcome yourself, or you're working towards that process, that's something to anticipate yourself getting that, that blue ribbon put up on your wall as a reminder that if you're a faith-based person, God has brought you through and he healed you. Also, if you're not a faith-based person, that simply that you overcame in that particular area. We have degrees, we have certifications that we hang on the wall while going through these process it makes a big difference. I don't know about you, but I went through this process for 8 months of chemo, and that was just the 8 months of chemo. That wasn't the before process nor the after. And so I'm saying to you, I'm going to put mine up on the wall. I also want to talk to you about the calendars. So the calendars, they come from choosehope.com. And I don't know if you can see it, but they actually have it online. You can print it out. And it talks about all the different types of cancer that individuals across the world may get. And they tell you how they celebrate it in each of the 12 months. So you may want to look into that. You may not have breast cancer or had breast cancer, but you may have had one of the other cancers. And guess what? That could be your month of celebrating, in addition to your date of remission that I overcame. Okay, I know a lot of times in the faith base we celebrate like our christenings, we celebrate our baptism, we celebrate our salvation days. Like there's all these things that we celebrate. Well, why not celebrate overcoming in such a crucial and life or death situation? So there's also another one from the same organization, and that's choosehope.com, and they have a chart like this that you can also hang up, just as a reminder of the type of ribbons. So one was a calendar, and this one is the ribbon. So I overcame the non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So my particular ribbon is considered not pink, it is green. And there are various shades of green depending on the type of cancer that you overcame. So I want, my listeners and my podcast viewers, take a little look at that and see if that's something that you're interested in as well. So I'm gonna put that on the side. And then also I want to talk to you about early detection. So we all know that the Cancer Society provides us so much information in regards to how we're moving forward, what we're doing, the research that they're doing with all the dollars that people have donated. And it's wonderful, all of the progress that they have made. There's also an organization, and I've talked about them in their research before, National Foundation for Cancer Research, and that's the nfcr.org. And so they also have something online that possibly you may want to print out for your records. There is this information for our men as well as for our ladies, and what it is a cancer detection guide. So they'll tell the men and they'll tell the women when or you should be looking for certain things annually throughout the months, those type of things. Should you look for them monthly? Should you get these screenings or whatever? You need to look into that. And then there's also an additional guide for the frequency of how often that would be. And then there's a little paragraph side. So you may want to look into that, and you can get that on their website as well. I will share that in the information either below, or I will share that in the information on the Facebook group page. So it's wonderful how we are getting all of this information. It's always been there. Someone throughout all of this, teams, committees, everyone who is a professional, you understand that. It takes time to develop. It takes time to get to where you need it to go to. I know a lot of times people say, oh, well, they're not, a lot of that money doesn't go towards different things. Sure it is, because there are many people who are overcoming, and they're getting early detection. They're utilizing certain medicines that can help them, in addition to herbs, in addition to resources, in addition to encouragements like Encouragement on Fire. There are so many different resources out there, and it takes money in order to get those resources to individuals like you and like me. Okay, so I just want to make sure that moving forward, let's have a different perspective on these things. And I know many of you out there, you're saying, well, there's a lot of wasted money. Of course there is. There's a lot of wasted money in a lot of different things, but let's focus on what is being done, right? The good and the positive that is being done. We can always focus on the negative and focus on those things. And if you're the person that goes in and, you analyze that information and you try to make it better, then do that. But the rest of us, let's focus on our energy on the good things and how can we as a community make it better. So there is some research for the money for overcoming cancer, the research for the monies that are allocated for different types of cancer. And I wanted to bring this to your attention. Not that you need to know this, but I think you need to know this. So when we think of the cancers that affect our lives every day or affect humanity's lives every day, we fight by eating good, we fight by exercise, we fight by doing all these different things. And the top cancers are breast cancer as well as lung cancer. So I just want to read to you some information that came from the NCI funded research. And let's look at that. Breast cancer, in 2019, there was 287,850 diagnoses. 43,250 people died. Now, anyone dying is a horrible thing. It's a loss. So when we look at that, there was less than a third of individuals that they were unable to save, right? And that's unfortunate, but that's why the money is going towards research in order to help people to get them to the next stage of their lives. And in 2019, there was about $545 million that was allocated in order to save the lives of just these people. We're not talking about previous years. So, when you look at those odds, when you look at how much research money has been allocated and how many people they saved, that's up to you how you weigh that. But I think the money is going to good things. At least that's what I like to believe. And specifically because all of these individuals, their families are affected every single day when they were going through the process and even after they went through the process. Let me see here. We have, the next one is the lung cancer. There's 221,097 people in 2019 that were diagnosed with lung cancer, and 139 of them died. People, that is half, more than half of people that die with lung cancer. And I'm here, sitting here with you. They allocated $418 million to assist in this. It doubled in the amount they were giving in 2015 because they seen the need for the money to help in the research. When I see half of the people dying, I think so as well. And I'm not even on their board, but that does make sense. And for me, let me say this. I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer, and I'm saying to you that where the cancer, the grapefruit cancer was located, the doctor said it could have penetrated my lungs, but it didn't. So instead, it was non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, where because I was in pain over a year, it had the opportunity to infiltrate my lungs, but it leaned heavily on my lungs, which caused my, the water in my lungs to cause me to get pneumonia. And that's how I got really sick. But I'm saying to you, half of the people ended up dying. So that is why they increased the amount of the research money. And then we have the prostate cancer. Prostate cancer, 268,490 some people were diagnosed in 2019, roughly 2018. and 34,500 died. So you're talking less than a third of the individuals dying. But remember, anyone dying is a horrible thing. Now, they allocated $244 million towards the prostate cancer research. So when you're looking at it, you have to determine, okay, should more money be going somewhere else, or because less people are dying, or you know, it's a numbers thing. At the same time, it's a humanity thing. It's a faith thing. And unless you're on the board, unless you're getting that information that's in front of you, it's really difficult to maneuver through information like this. It's really difficult to say, oh, well, this, you should add more money here and there, because there's a group of people that will be, you know, less funded for the research that they need. And then there's others that would get additional funding. So it's kind of difficult. And whoever's on these boards, you know, I will be praying for you that you will make the good decision, that you will move the money around appropriately to assist in saving everyone's life. That's what we hope for. Everyone's life will be saved. And this will be, this nightmare that everyone is going through will be a distant memory, right? Then I wanted to talk to you also about, and I always like to encourage you. I want to encourage you, if you have overcome cancer, how do you progress forward? Now, we talked about some of it, but you know, I received this information. It says hopehasarrived.com. That's how you can get this information. How can a cancer survivor regain what they lost on their cancer journey? That was an article that was created, and you can go to hopehasarrived.com. And I'm telling you, this was a writer talked about 6 things that someone could do. The first one is to achieve and maintain a healthy weight. Now, y'all, you guys know I've been talking to you about my weight. And after this has all happened to me, and I get emotional because people don't understand that, yeah, you got over cancer, you know, but now there's this aftermath. And some people are sensitive and some people are not. And that's why I'm on here and trying to encourage you that no matter what happens, you're still wonderful. You're still beautiful. And you're moving towards what it is that you need to do in life. Walk in purpose. Walk in love. Whatever you do, don't allow the cancer, don't allow people to change you or make you different. Remain who you are. The first one, like I said, achieve and maintain a healthy weight. I'm working on this, and because of the situation with my feet, you know, before it was my hands. I still have some of that going on, the neuropathy, but not as much. And my feet, is a lot going on. I can't even get into it. It's just a lot. And trying to exercise for my body type, the need to exercise and to not be able to do that is a difficult thing. So I'm being authentic. I'm being vulnerable because, you know, these aren't things we talk about with everyone. But I'm sharing this information with you because there could be somebody out there right now and you're saying, man, people don't understand, you know, I'm unable to exercise, you know, because maybe it's not your feet. Maybe it's other parts of your body are still hurting and you just can't do it. Well, I'm here to encourage you. Do what you can. I started exercising again. Everyone knows that. But every time I exercise, it does something to my legs and my body, and it causes the pain in my feet. So I'm unable to do that. So where do you find yourself? Where did I find myself? Well, I'm saying to you, it's called, you got to soak those feet a little bit more in cold ice water. I have to get on the treadmill more, even if I'm just walking. I have to walk in the neighborhood. I have my 2 dogs. I have to do what I need to do. I can't give up. And so if you're out there and you're saying, you know, and I'm going to be honest with you, a week ago, I was about to just give up. And then I thought about all of you. And I said, if I give up, that's not encouraging to my listeners, my viewers. And so you inspired me. And so I said, okay, I'm not going to give up. What can I do? Because that's why I tell you all the time, even if you can't do a lot, what can you do? And so I just decided I'm a walk. Now, my husband, after I had decided that, my husband last night, he said to me, he said, babe, I was in prayer and God told me to help you. And that is awesome. So if you have somebody out there that can help you, you know, reach out to them. Or if you're the person that can help someone else and you know they're going through, help them. Don't leave them there like, oh, well, they'll deal with it. Because you never know, there go you. You never know when tomorrow's going to bring, or next year. Some of you are out there sitting there saying, well, it's not me. I'm not even worried about it. But you don't know what 1 month, what can happen to you. You don't know 6 months from now. Next year around this time, where will you be? Will you be laying on the couch in a similar situation or worse? And you will be wishing that, man, I wish I had sowed good seed. My husband, Pastor Darrell Farrar, he talked about this actually today, earlier today at 10 o'clock. He talked about sowers and reapers. So you don't want to be sitting there next year because you didn't sow a good seed to help someone else in their time of need. And now you're sitting there and you're saying, man, I wish I had helped someone because now I get it. I understand what, you know, the scriptures talk about. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The golden rule, paying it forward, whatever you want to call it. You never know where you're going to be. And I'm talking to many of you because this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity to do a good thing, the right thing. So I'm going to digress from that. I'm not going to just stay in that area. The second one this article talked about was be physically active. So I'm going to be honest with you, because of the things that I've been dealing with my body, I haven't been as physically active. There are many organizations, people inviting me to different things, you know, those type of things. So I can't do all of those things I used to do. And, you know, it's just one of those things. You got to know your body. You got to know yourself. And then third one is eat a healthy diet with an emphasis on fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Now, I thought that I was doing this, and I'm telling you guys this because this is what I've been talking about, healthy grains, all these things. But then now I'm looking at, you know, I will use the olive oil. Sometimes I use a little pat of butter. So I'm looking to get rid of even using a pat of butter, switching over to even some other things like coconut oil or something like that. And my meats, you know, some of them do have fatty things on it. And you know what? Cutting all of that out. And, you know, you have to try. I even thought of fasting more. So there's a combination of some different things that I'm going to be trying in the month of October. And I'm going to let you know if I'm successful. But if I'm not, I'm going to keep trying because I'm alive. I have an opportunity to begin again. I have an opportunity to, you know, if I'm successful in something, I can share it with you. So I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to keep trying. The fourth thing is get recommended cancer screenings. We just talked about that, and that was this particular chart right here. You want to make sure that you're getting that particular chart, right? I think this is a wonderful chart, and I think it's just really necessary that the National Foundation for Cancer Research, how they put that information in there and made it very helpful for all of us. And there's others that have done the same thing. So if you found some other charts, put them in the chat on our Facebook group as well as on our YouTube to share with everyone else. And then also number 5, create a survivorship care plan. How about that? You need to know how did you overcome, right? So it's not just, you know, we always say, oh, it's just my faith. No, it's a balance because God clearly says faith without works is dead. So we have our faith. So we continue in that. We have our works, eating right, exercising. So what is your survivor plan? What else can you do to make sure eliminate toxicities in our clothing, in our hair products, all the things that we do? How can we eliminate any of the toxins out of our lives? And also number 6, take care of your emotional health. Oh my goodness. Mental health is no joke. Going through the process, your mind goes through these different things, and you want to make sure that, you know, you're seeing a counselor even when you're going through that, talking to your RN nurse. The insurance, I told you before, they called my house every month, every other month, making sure I was okay. And I would say to you to reach out to a counselor if you're feeling depressed or any of those things. Even if you're not, reach out to a counselor anyway. Do a a health checkup just to make sure, because they may spot something in your behavior or how you're speaking that you didn't even realize. So I encourage that as well. And then lastly, for our last few minutes, I just want to give a shout out to Encouragement on Fire. This is our 31st video podcast, and I want to really talk to many of you about, helping us in the months that are coming. Now, I know as soon as I said help, many of you are thinking, oh man, here we go, right? So we are sponsored by the Meeting House in Voorhees, New Jersey, and it's a new partnership that we are working out the kinks. We have had many people who have seen Encouragement on Fire and began to donate, small amounts. And so through the sponsorship of the Meeting House, we have been able to help many individuals in our community with medicine, the money for the medicine. We've been able to, help them out in food and other things. So what I'm saying to you is we want to continue doing this. We want to continue helping our community. And so we're encouraging you to donate. Yes, you can either go to themeetinghouse.cc and donate directly to that. The first page, it has a donation link, and you can donate there on behalf of House Breach Restoration. Or you can actually go to housebreachrestoration.org. That's housebreachrestoration.org. And you can click on our projects that we are involved in. And I'm going to talk to you about that in just a second. And there is also a donation link there, and you can donate directly in regards to the Encouragement on Fire. Now, I want you to know that House Breach Restoration is divided into 3 parts of a vision. And I'm going to get more specific as we move forward in the year. The first part is Encouragement on Fire, which is our podcast, right? It is also community and school. You'll be hearing about some things we're going to be doing in our community and also in school. And then we have our Conqueror Walkathon, which we had to change it from this year. It was pushed off to next year, 2023, October the 7th. You're going to hear more about that, so stay tuned. And then there's 2 other parts of the vision for the House Breach Restoration, and that is the career services as well as Home Equip. I have not launched and let you know what each of those are, but you can just about surmise what it is. Maybe career services, not necessarily Home Equip, but career services, we're going to be bringing more information in regards to occupations and tools that you need for, being successful in that as well, in your career aspirations. So I am hopeful that you will continue to stay tuned with us and to hear more about what we are doing. But keep in mind, by the end of this year, December 2022, we're going to have an online report. It probably won't reach you until January. We'll put it on our new website. But we're planning on putting our new report. Now, you won't see individual names. However, what you will see is estimate on how we were able to help people and the amount of money that came in, or amount of donations that came in, because sometimes there are in-kind donations where people don't give money, but they give resources. So between the two, you will begin to see an actual report. So if we have small donations, you'll see a small report. If we have large donations, you'll see a larger report. Okay. We want to make sure that you are, in tune with what we are doing in the community, and for you and for others that you know. So if you have any ideas in regards to our 3-part vision and how you would like to help, get in contact with me through the Facebook group, or get in contact with me. If you go to the website, we actually have our email information on there, and you can be able to contact me that way. It may take a little bit, just being honest with you, because right now we don't have as many volunteers, but we are going to do all we can to assist as we're moving forward. Maybe this will be one of those milestone days, and next year we'll be able to say, we were, our team only consisted of these amount of people, but now this year we have doubled in the amount of volunteers. I would love to be able to say that to you. So we are 2 minutes and 18 seconds over, and I am Shirley Farrar, and this is Encouragement on Fire. Be safe, be good, stay balanced, eat right, exercise, do what you can, okay? And like I always say, when you know it, you'll do it. I'll talk to you soon.